fair. And I think that's where you and I are completely on a different page. I believe that there is a one-on-one connection between political ideas and military action, and you believe that the two are separate, and I don't think that is fair.
You're talking about geopolitics.
I'm talking about internal politics that support geopolitics.
Like, for example, China-US trade war. This is not military, exactly political war.
Right. Well, we don't know how long that lasts. If we really keep going like this, then it could become military.
Finally, they're going to considering for the physical military war. It's in future, if current situation going on.
But why do people support Trump?
What I'm talking about, what do you understand what I mean? China trade war is extending to South China Sea battle. It means, what I mean is Trump protects Taiwan. And the first step they announced post WTO accept Taiwan involvement on this May. China 100% against it, but what the result is? America forced them to accept Taiwan in WHO physically, and America tried to force them to be independent. First step, right? So independent means the China military involvement will happen. This is capability, right?
But how is okay?
This is what you say, military and politically.
Yeah, I think those are two sides of the same medal.
Yeah, I agree with you. And finally, Taiwan issue is strange. Japanese and Japan-China made agreement in 1974, and Japan accepted China involved in the United Nations and instead kicked Taiwan out. That's a mistake, but Taiwan is an independent country actually, physically. So Trump said this is an independent country. So this is globally, many people understand, accept it.
Right, but if you're Chinese, then you don't believe that because Taiwan used to be part of China. I mean, they have a valid claim.
This is strange. Why part of China?
No, it's not strange. It's just a matter of, okay, how you see it. So the Chinese people truly believe that Taiwan was part of China. And if you look at the map, the historical map
Wait
of
a
China,
minute. If you're talking about Taiwan is a part of China,
as the American claim.
If you're going to talking about Taiwan is part of China, Ryukyu is also their emperor, that emperor's country, and a couple hundred years ago. How come Ryukyu is belonging to Japan as Okinawa? They are different people.
Exactly. So this is basically this is what we believe because the UN believes it. This is the general position. But there's always these kinds of arguments, and it just depends on how far you look back to see, we are right. And so this is where politics comes in. Politics needs to drive the public opinion of the people. If they don't do that, they don't have the support to actually follow their agenda. And the agenda is to either regain Taiwan back from into China, it depends on where you stand, or to keep Taiwan independent and make them a full part of the UN and the World Health Organization and what have you.
Exactly. I think they should do that.
That's why I believe that we also need to look very critical at the role of Hakkou Ichiu and how that fits into the political narrative, because there is the concern worldwide, outside of Japan, that this could drive a military movement. That's what the rest of the world is concerned about. Now, no matter how good the ideas are, no matter what their role is, but I think it's a general given that politics and military need to be on the same page before you can do anything, before you can start a war. I'm sure that a lot of people who support Hakkou Ichiu, I'm sure a lot of people who are Christian have the best intentions in mind, but you need to be aware that you could very easily be used as an instrument to support other people's political agenda.
Okay, very simply saying, Hakkou Ichiu concept is you need to coordinate with both countries' interests instead of you yourself, your country's interests.
Right.
You need to consider for counterpart countries' interests and try to make balance each other. This is Hakkou Ichiu.
Okay, Uno-san, then let's take the example of Taiwan. So under the idea, so we need to actually coordinate with Taiwan to have the best interest in mind. But whose best interest? The people of Taiwan or the people of China? Because they both have a legitimate claim. It just depends how far you look back. How are we as Japanese going to work together with those people, and who are we going to support? It's just as political, isn't it? And actually, we could even argue that we need to protect the people of Taiwan. Therefore, we need to give them military support. Before you know it, we are involved in a war under the flag of Hakkou Ichiu because we have the best interests of people in mind. Whose people? Which people?
Okay, good example. Russia, Crimea, okay? Russia, Crimea annexation, right? Russia, Crimea annexation, because Russian regime is not like a Chinese Communist Party regime. And the rest of the world people, they do not believe Russian Chinese Communist regime is good political organization. Nobody believe it. So that is big barrier they try to consider for both countries' interests.
Sorry, I lost you. Go on. Russia, Crimea, and then?
That is political regime. Russia is not communist organization anymore.
No.
Authoritarian, but they try to consider for democracy, right? But authoritarian. So they have not big against opinion of Crimea annexation. But Taiwan case is different. Okay, Taiwan is democratic country, but Chinese is Communist Party, special authoritarian organization. So they don't believe authoritarian country will annexation for Taiwan. They don't think this is good thing. This is big barriers, big obstacles. Many people against that annexation.
Yeah, but the Chinese...
Hong Kong is the same. Hong Kong is...
How are we going to judge whose interest is more valid than the other?
Okay, Japanese people always thinking about, not like American. American is always thinking about American first. What can benefit for America? But Japanese people don't think what kind of benefit for not only Japan but also Taiwan, right? So this is our way. Not now, okay? Not now, Hakkou Ichiu way.
Okay, so tell me then, why would we support the Taiwanese in remaining independent for China if that were to happen?
Okay, very simple saying.
Saying,
we don't want them to join the terrible regime organization authoritarian country. This is bad for them. Yeah, because bad for them. I don't think China is a good country. Okay, they conceal everything. They try to kill many people, and Western China, many people as concentration camp. They are not free speech, not free world, not free economy, and limited activity.
The best interest of Japan, wouldn't it?
No, 100%, 100 times we are better than them. So we never want Taiwan will be invaded by China. This is our Hakkou Ichiu concept. You are our family, so we try to deal your freedom. America thinking is different way, not the same. America always think about the American benefit. If Taiwan be independent, America get benefit, not Taiwanese people. The aspect is different.
But you see how difficult this is in reality if you practically want to do that. Like, for example, if we then look back to the history, like, what was the real interest of the people in Manchuria? Why?
You're talking about talking to step into Manchuria? Manchuria is a different story.
For example,
completely different story, not like Taiwan. Manchurian people, okay, it's not Han people. The Manchuria is not Chinese people. Different people were living there.
So Japan was trying to protect the Manchurians.
No, not protect. Originally, they invaded China.
Yeah.
And then invaded China, and also they take land from local farmers, and Japanese immigrated there. This is invasion.
Right.
Since then.
But
since
actually,
then,
if we look back at the sentiment of the Japanese at that time, a lot of people went to Manchuria because they really believed it was good for Japan, right? They really felt that they were kind of on a mission to develop this land to make Japan stronger, right?
No, actually they didn't think it happened. Actually, Manchuria government not like that. After colonialization, after invasion, Manchuria government tried to, of course, they are not military. They are protected from Russia, okay? But their government management is trying to control 5 races to be equal. So Japanese people not had superiority compared with the other races.
They didn't have more money, preferential situation, preferential.
Of course,
position.
yes, and not everything is not like that, but they try to do that. Ishihara Kanji, they try to do that. He tried to equalize everybody. This is big, their government policy. Actually, they fairly level that they success.
I just have a question: is that are you saying that the action toward Manchuria before World War II is it authentic representation of Hakkou Ichiu or overheated military agenda?
Both. Hakkou Ichiu is Manchuria's way regime is 5 races coordination. Hakkou Ichiu is in Manchuria, their policy is 5 races equalization. But military action they invaded because military, why they existed? Because protected from Russian invasion. And also they have lots of local militants. Protect local people. Many militants. Is spread all over Manchuria.
How about the local farmers who had to give away their land to Japanese farmers?
Oh, this is the first initial 10 years. That was terrible.
Yeah. Sorry, I really fail to see the altruism in this Hakkou Ichiu.
Oh, no. Just wait a minute. Japanese just farmers came to Manchuria. Do you know how big are they?
How big are they?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Japan is 80% mountains. Japan, 20% prairies. Okay, but Manchuria is flat, no mountain. Right. But their size is 3 times bigger than Japan.
Yeah.
Even if Japanese people, farmers, immigrated 200, 300,000, just a small bit. Japanese population at that time 100 million.
So they didn't take any land from the.
Yeah, they took that 300, 400,000 people they immigrated, but small bit.
So they took the land, right?
Yeah, but small bit. Not like Korea. Korea case is 37. Korea case is completely different.
It's your land. I mean, if it's a small bit, if I was a farmer, a Manchurian farmer, and it would be taken by the Japanese, I wouldn't be happy.
Yes, lot of opponent people, and also lots of militants. Manchuria is not safe area. Many farmers are killed.
Right. So how does that?
Oh, military protected them.
Hakkou Ichiu.
Hakkou Ichiu is 5 races try to equal, and Hakkou Ichiu is based in Manchuria. Their government policy is 5 races try to be equal. 5 races is Manchuria, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, and local people.
But the reality was that farmers were taking their land, they were killed. So
No, not killed. Killed.
This beautiful idea.
Not killed. Killed is China.
Hand,
no, don't you are mixing up completely.
No,
China is killed. Manchuria is not killed.
Oh, you said many were killed. That were your words.
No. It's a non-military zone that farmers are killed. This is not in Manchuria, outside Manchuria, ordered by Japanese headquarters. Many people, million people are killed. Not outside Manchuria. But in Manchuria is one country. They never do that.
People were not killed. They were just taken.
No. Yeah. Of course, they paid some money, and they tried to kick them out. And just lot of immigrants there. But compare the scale of land, huge real estate they have. Image of different from Korea.
Yeah,
Korea is actually
it wasn't yours to take, was it? It wasn't Japan's to take, was it?
No. It means very little bit compared with Korea. Korea case is 37% farmland is taken by Japanese the Korean government is based upon Japanese government. That was a misery and terrible thing happened, but not in Manchuria.
But it was not. How does it relate to Hakkou Ichiu? Wasn't
Hakkou Ichiu is that right to people equality.
Yeah, I think
equal to every people.
They did that too in Korea, right? Actually.
No. Korea no. No. Korea is different. Korea is just I told you. They just copy from British colonization. They did terrible thing at first.
They made them citizens. They actually gave them the same.
Of course,
education.
yeah. Of course, they had Hakkou Ichiu concept, but they never follow on Hakkou Ichiu at initial stage. First couple decades, they never followed like that. But after 1930, after they tried to recover the Hakkou Ichiu concept, but for Korean people, that was too late. Many people hate Japanese people.
Okay, I would say like this: the Japan did something wrong, largely in some case, but in another case, what Japan did is not as bad as we did in Korea, but in some case we did wrong too much, and in another case we did do something wrong but not too much. But it's the same. We did something wrong, but based on the basic concept of Hakkou Ichiu and military agenda are totally different. So not direct connection in the basic concept between Hakkou Ichiu and military agenda, but then pure part of Hakkou Ichiu, if it doesn't have condemnation, that might be a good idea. The Hakkou Ichiu, everything should be treated equally. But downside of the Hakkou Ichiu, as taking some lesson in the past, that might be the big room for military agenda to manipulate the weak aspect of the Hakkou Ichiu. Because if the leadership, the top management of the country is not well capable of exercising his leadership, as happened in the World War II, that weak leadership allow a military agenda to easily go overheated. Then we bring some military action, which might be called invasion or something.
Exactly. And also timetable also consider for public servant and military mixing sophisticated environment we had. In Korea, in Chosen, in Manchuria is different, and time by time. So we need to think more carefully, analyze what kind of happen. Even though 5 races equality they try to focus on, but many cases military, the invasion, military's intention is different. Also 1910, 1920, 1930, after that in Korea its situation also has different. So time scale, but also the power balance, time by time will going to be different. So always we try to consider for the military power and public servant power, what kind of balancing each other. Then we need to consider for what the true story will supposed to be. Otherwise we don't understand Hakkou Ichiu, what was that.